John is a very warm person, a very family-oriented person, a very giving person, a very generous person, and a very helpful person. I don't think he has said no to anyone who needed help or assistance.
My uncle is the hardest working man I've ever met in my life. One of the first things that he taught me when I was a kid was that you don't earn anything without working hard. And he led by example. He's also the most generous and kind and loving man that you've ever met. He is dedicated to his family and to the people that love him. One very important aspect about my father that I see every day is how much he cares about his employees. He has an open door policy for every one of his employees. Mind you, we have well over 200 employees amongst all the companies. If anybody was ever to come into him and they themselves or their family ever needed help, my father is the first one there to help them. Because he is a strong believer that this is not only a business where people come to work day to day, that this is a family that we've developed.
You know, my wife and I never were able to have children, and we opted to do an international adoption. When we were getting ready to travel overseas, he said, "Bill, you and Barb go do what you have to do. Don't worry about anything. You know, is there anything I can do? You take care of your family, everything's all set here. You do what you need to do, and if you need anything, call me." And you know, he did that not just once, but twice. Where else in America does that happen?
I was invited to say the prayer at a dinner that he had, an appreciation dinner for his workers. And I remember he got up and said that the success of their company was due to the fact that these workers were so loyal and faithful. I just thought that was kind of amazing that he would make that statement publicly.
And you know, the greatest, nicest thing about all of it is, through all these years, he's never lost that humble side of himself. He's a special person that way. And like I say, you look at all what he's built from nothing to this, and the way he is towards people, it's just awesome. It's awesome. I'm proud to be able to say he's my best friend.
When we were kids, we used to do work in the yard, and him and Grandpa Gizzi would be out there raking right along with us. You know, he's just the hardest working person I've ever seen.
So my mom never being around, working 2 jobs, taking care of 3 kids, Mr. Gizzi played a big role as a father figure or a man in my life. And if he wasn't there to guide me in the right direction, I don't know where I'd be right now.
John has an intuitive side to him. It's amazing. He just seems to have a gift for being able to see things that a lot of people overlook. And he seems to have that gift to be able to see the opportunity and build on it. I mean, they started in a little almost like a barn kind of building down in Old Dutchtown. It backed up to the Keeler Street Expressway. I mean, that's where they started. It was a rough neighborhood, but that's what they could afford. And that's when he started, you know, that's when he started from humble beginnings like that, you know, to grow it into this.
The good thing about working for John at Precise, that his business, he's always growing his business, adding new equipment, building expansions, which gives, in return, the employees a chance to grow with the company.
What I remember at a very early age with Precise Tool and Manufacturing and my father was that he was a very hands-on owner. We would go to work with him, and he would actually work on the floors with all the guys, elbow to elbow.
He loves to work right alongside with them, you know, and teaching them. He's a great teacher. And he would always like, you know, just to see the outcome when he's teaching these employees. And that's his greatest gift, I think, to other people.
I am the instructor here at PCMI, which is the Precise CNC Machining Institute that John Gizzi created. We take in younger students that are looking for a career in a direction and show them how to program and set up and operate CNC machines.
Prior to PCMI and Precise here, I really had no idea what machining was or what it took. And once we finished the PCMI training, 6 months, we were hired full-time, thrown right into machining. Everything we learned was tested for us. It's very important for PCMI to be here. There's not a lot of opportunity for people with growing families to go to school and take the time off and not work, and to be at a place that will pay you to learn and give you that job once you're done. It's a great opportunity, and I wouldn't pass it up.
If not for my father's active participation in the community, a lot of good things would not get done.
I got him reconnected with Boy Scouts, and I can't tell you how many thousands upon thousands of dollars he's given to Boy Scouts of America for the different programs.
Somehow or other, I got to talking to John that we needed storage space here in this parish. What we really need is some kind of a garage type thing where we could store things that we only use once a year. John decided they would build us a storage garage at their expense.
I basically solicited John to sponsor our torch run. And as the event grew, John's donation and sponsorship grew also. It went from $1,000 to $10,000 sponsorship. And again, that's for a solid 13 years with no breaks. John also, around that same time, supplied us with one of the torches. It's an actual torch that we light and run during the torch runs.
He is very community focused, which is surprising. A lot of business people sometimes forget about the community they came from, not John. He constantly talks about giving back to this town, to this community, and he's done so at a number of activities that the town of Gates has done here, including most recently our bicentennial, which he was a big donor towards the bicentennial celebration, which was very important to the people of Gates.
We need him here as guidance, as a leader for us. More, he's been a role model our entire life, but more as a mentor.
The community would, I hate to say crumble. I mean, he, with the many businesses here, he employs a few hundred people. If he were to not be here or even move from here or pull out of here or close or whatever, it would be an impact on this community for sure.
If John Gizzi did not take on the business venture that he did in this part of town, there'd be certainly less employees in the southwest portion of Gates. This would not be developed. The tax base would have been impacted. And quite frankly, there would have been a big void right here in this area.
My dad is a self-made man. He's a mentor to his employees and his family, and he's constantly giving back to the community and the surroundings that we work and live in. And even to this day, he is counted on by many people to continue the things that they're doing, but with his help.
The last year and a half has been very difficult on the entire family. He never meant to hurt anybody or anything. He is, I can see it in his eyes. He's remorseful. This is very, very difficult for him. If he can go back and change anything, there's no doubt in my mind he would change what happened.
It's important that people know that John is a kind and generous man that has helped thousands and thousands of people through his lifetime. His home was the center of all of our family events. He became our foundation for our family. He's the glue for the family still to this day.
My kids are at my parents' house every day. They call my father Papa. As soon as his car comes up the driveway, they run next door, Dad, can we go see Mimi and Papa? Can we go see Papa? It'd be very difficult to even explain to them where their grandfather was. I know living next door to my brother and my nephew and my niece, as they're a little bit older, this has all been very difficult for them as they understand things now. And in their point in their life, to not see their Papa, which I think is a huge role model for them, would be detrimental.